inside the stable with the Crest Charger football team. Sponsored by Neal & Cole Termite Pest Control, Moisture and Water Control. 2026 is here upon us, and we had a great year last year coming off state championship in 5A, and there's some changes that are going on in the stable, so we'll bring in the new head coach, I guess new/old head coach of the Crest Chargers, Mr. Mark Barnes, and welcome back, sir, and it's glad to have you. And you know what, we know you were in Sumter for 10 years, correct? 11. Okay, 11. We don't want to leave a year off. And coming back to North Carolina, what led you to come back to Crest High School?
Well, obviously I love Crest High School. The time here was good, and this is pretty much what I consider to be home. Obviously, when I left, it was a retirement thing that my girls were going to college, and I needed to find a way to maximize my income. And coming back was an easy choice. You know, I retired, and then, like you said, they had great success last year. Coach Lloyd and their staff did a great job, and it was a great team, and I had the opportunity to watch them play in the playoffs. And then when he decided to retire, and both my girls are living one of them lives in Gastonia area, one of them lives in Charlotte, and the wife said it was time to get close to our children, so we were coming back to North Carolina anyway, so it just worked out really well.
We're extremely happy to have you back, and you know, you experienced very good success last time you were here at Crest, state championship in 2014, I believe. You know, what's been going on this spring and this summer? Catch us up. What's going on? And you know, you kind of starting over, I guess, when it's a new program and the kids getting to know you getting to know the kids.
Yeah, I think that, you know, when you get a new job, even though it's, like you said, an old job, but a new job, the clientele is different, the coaching staff was different, so I had to come in and really sit down and try to figure out, you know, first of all, interview all the coaches and see what if they want to be a part of the program still, which most of them did, and then figure out the dynamics, because we do have the biggest difference when I was here the first time than when I'm here now would be, you know, we might have had 4 community coaches and 10 guys in the building, and now it's kind of flipped, and it was the other way. So we want to get more coaches in the building, which we've been able to do that, and then just get to know the players, you know, and you know, I think when you're smart, try to be smart when you come into a place and you want to find out, you know, what are they doing that's really good, and you want to keep those things, and what are they doing that you think you can improve on, and we've tried to analyze all that, and that's no matter who the coach was before you. I had a guy who took a job, worked with me, and he said, when I go to be a head coach, I want to do exactly what you did. And I said, that'd be about the dumbest thing you could do. I said, keep the good things and fix the things that everybody has problems. So, you know, we analyzed that, and then it got into meeting on personnel, you know, trying to put the best 22 people on the field, and I think what the average fan doesn't really understand is in high school football, you do what your community offers you. And my job as a head coach is to put them in the best defensive system, to use our personnel, whether it's a 3-man front or a 4-man front. And then offensively, you need to figure out who your quarterback's going to be, right? And what your best skill players are on offense, and then make sure you build your offense around those people's skill set. And hope we've done that, and think we have. We're not where we want to be by any stretch of the imagination, but we're not where we were either. Yep. So we are making some gains.
All right, very nice. We will be back after these messages. We'll review the Burns Bulldogs victory at the Sid Bryce Stadium after these messages.
They're everywhere. Your yard, your kitchen, your bedroom. Invading your home and property, spreading disease, and destroying everything in their path. If you don't act, they'll multiply, crawling ever closer to you and your family. The only thing they fear is the web. Neal & Cole Termite and Pest Control. Call today for their new service special and save $25. Bugs, beware of the web.
Hey, Cleveland County, looking for the best HVAC and refrigeration company around? You found us, CSI Mechanical. We're proud to be an authorized Trane and Generac dealer, bringing trusted equipment and dependable service to our community. And now, we're rolling out our CSI Mechanical Comfort Club. Get the maintenance and service benefits you need to help keep your system running strong. Want to learn more? Visit our website or give our office a call today. That's CSI Mechanical, keeping Cleveland County comfortable. Go Chargers!
Welcome back to Inside the Stable with the Crest Charger football program, sponsored by Neal & Cole Termite and Pest Control, Moisture and Water Control. Now, this segment of the show, Coach, we'll go over the victory over Burns, the 28-14 victory, I guess Saturday afternoon. I was thinking when we were down there on the field Saturday, I can't remember of a Saturday afternoon game in high school. Now, I've seen Saturday night, Thursday night, Monday night. I cannot remember, and you've coached a lot.
Yeah, I hadn't done that either.
So I don't know if you've had a Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock game either, but it was quite warm after the sun come out.
Yeah, it was. It was, I think, we had to make a decision middle of the day on Friday, and it looked like what we didn't want to do was start the game and then have to do it again, have to finish the game another day. Obviously, in hindsight, we probably made the wrong decision because you could have played on Friday. But we made a decision, we moved on, and then I think somebody on their coaching staff had something he had to be at on Saturday night. So we decided to play it Saturday at 1. It gave us more recovery time after the game for the next week anyway, and I think the players were actually kind of excited about it because it's kind of like a college atmosphere and a college game time. So we made the best out of a bad situation, and we were able to come away with a victory and for the most part come out healthy. So that's always a good game.
The first couple of weeks of the season's always rough. You got two county opponents right off the bat, Burns and Shelby. So, you don't want to short any recovery time between the two games. And, you kind of didn't want to play on Monday because you got Shelby coming up Friday.
Absolutely.
And they didn't want to play Monday either. So, not getting into the decision, but, people got to realize you've got to make a decision. Like, you're up against time to make the decision. And, I don't know what the percentage is. You're right or wrong. If you played Friday, it could have stormed, and you wouldn't sit there for 3 hours and come back Saturday. So, I thought it was the right decision. And is there a right decision? Who knows? But it turned out to be beautiful weather, and it was hot. But we got the victory. What was your takeaway from the first game as far as overall team?
I think a lot of times we look like a team that was playing the first game.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I made a comment to our coaches that there's different. When you've been in when you've had your program and you've been here for 2 or 3 years, the first game's a little different than it is when it's the actual first game.
Yeah.
And sometimes the answers and things you can call on in a program when you've been there for years is, hey, y'all remember this? Well, I look at them right now and say, do y'all remember this? And they look at me like I'm crazy, and so, we had to go with what we believed in, and we thought we had a good game plan on both sides of the ball. Obviously, we had too many penalties, which, there's different approaches to it. We're going to be really, really simple, and we're probably not going to make many mistakes. But we thought there were things that we needed to do formationally and play with pace that we got some penalties doing them, but they were also things that were successful for us when we did do them right. So thought we played really well defensively. I felt like we were in control of the game the whole time. They made 2 spectacular plays. The first run that ended up being a big touchdown. We're in great position, and their guy just makes better plays. He makes a play that we couldn't deal with, and then the kickoff return game was short field. Other than that, defensively, I thought we played really good.
I thought you got better as the game went on. That's what it looked like. The second half, you come out and you come out with you played a lot more, I guess, crisper is what you want to say on defense. Defense played good the whole game. Like you said, it's 2 big plays. I'm down there watching, and that kid just made a heck of a run.
Yeah, he did.
Number 3, he just. I
think the surprising stat, and I'm not a stat-driven guy, but when I was surprised when I got home and we started watching the game, and I can click on. I just want to see offensive plays, or I just want to see defensive plays, and we had 73 offensive snaps, and they had 48.
Yeah.
So we did a good job of what I call being complementary to our defense. Where we didn't make them defend as many snaps, although we did play with pace, and we did some good things. And as I told our players most of the game, let's just don't stop us. Let's don't get a 5-yard penalty or don't get a holding penalty, and let's run 3 plays in a row, executing what we want to do, and then see if we can get first downs and score touchdowns. And when we did it, and I think we did it against a really good team. I think they're a really good defensive football team and offense. They have good offensive weapons. I think Coach Devine and his staff do a great job coaching them. Coach Duncan's the defensive coordinator. He was here with us the first time, so and he did a great job being prepared for what we did. And in the end, we found a way to take some advantages of some matchups, and it was good for us. Yeah,
it was. Burns will be a force in the 4A at the end of the year. They've got athletes all over the field, and that was a great win for you to start the season 1-0. We'll take a break, and we'll come back, and we'll announce our players of the week for the Burns Bulldogs Week 1.
Winning doesn't just happen. It's built, brick by brick, yard by yard. Since 1965, Wellington Hamrick Precast has been setting the standard. We don't cut corners, we don't take plays off, because when the whistle blows, only one thing matters. Did you deliver?
At Healthy Touch Home Care, we bring professional, personalized home health care right to your door. With non-skilled nurses, certified aides, and hearts that truly care. We are proud supporters of Crest High football.
Healthy Touch Home Care, care with a gentle touch. Come join our team. Shelby, Gaston, your Forest City. Go Chargers!
Welcome back to Inside the Stable with the Crest Charger football program, sponsored by Neal & Cole Termite Pest Control and Moisture and Water Control. I knew I'd mess that up. I did. So, Coach, we'll dive into the highlights of the Burns game to start off with. If you want to talk us through some of the highlights, Alan, you can pull it up for us. There we are.
This is a big fourth down play. We're going to talk a lot about being insulted when people go for it on fourth down. Big stop by us. There's a big sack by Reggie and Stove. These are going fast. Yeah, you see our defense really rally into the football. Here we go with a little counter play that he hits up inside and makes a good run. That Malachi, I thought he was physical with the ball. Brock in our Kong package making a big run on a 3rd and 8, and then him finishing off the drive here, which. We haven't shown that, but they knew it was coming. Option play, perimeter people doing a great job. Again, Malachi having a big run there. Big 3rd down conversion here. That's a great throw to Majay, KJ from the other hash. Then a good RPO check by him, throwing that down. Speed sweep. I think this is Majay again, really close to getting that one out the back door. Another big 3rd down catch here by Brock. Great throw by KJ. I think we go on to score on that drive. Our defense, pretty much all game was this. A lot of people running to the football. And then this is a big scramble after we kind of missed a play before. KJ getting the 1st down. Big third down completion here to get a 1st down to keep the drive alive. And then they're manning up Majay. And with the field open in the middle. We called it earlier and kind of missed it. Majay kind of fell down, and Majay takes. That was a big score for us as well. A weird strip here by Clark. I told him right there, you got to score. But then we gave it back to him, and then this pick, which made it 28. And I was talking to our players before the game about, the thing I remember about being here is that Charger magic, and it shows up at some time, and it showed up late in the game for us. Good kickoff here in the end zone, which we need him to do that consistently. We're kind of in control here at this end of the game. Then we get another late pick. Good athletes making plays. We're searching people. It's hot, and they're ready for the game to be over. We need to get a 1st down, and I think that's Maurice picking up a big 1st down, being physical with the ball. Which all we're trying to do here is just get to where we can take a knee. Everybody knows that we're not going to try to embarrass people. We got this is actually the other touchdown, a big bounce by him for a big touchdown. Again, that was Malachi on a big long run. We did a good job blocking on the perimeter there. Yep, same play, good bounce. their DB slides down, but we got a guy ready to block it. So that was a big play.
I thought both running backs, Malachi and Maurice, ran hard, and like every possession, every chance they got, they run hard and they're physical with the ball.
Yeah, they've been impressive. Like you said, the physicality, and instead of getting 3, let's get 5. And the old theory of a guy getting to the line of scrimmage and falling forward, you gain a yard, and they did a good job of that. There's a little tempo run that we've shown that formation through, show sweeps, and we threw a little inside handoff behind it, which almost popped. Great line movement right there. We're getting people moving the other way. And that group got better as the game went on, got a little more comfortable, and we're dominating the line of scrimmage at this point, which was important for us.
I thought KJ looked like he settled in after halftime. He looked really good. I mean, he played good, but he looked really good the second half and had some good throws like we showed earlier. And he looked like he got more comfortable as the game went on. Yeah,
that he did. There's no question about that. And that's going to get easier and easier for him every week, along with everybody else. But the one throw he made to Majay on the 3rd and 15 from the right hash, y'all had it on the highlights earlier, I told him when we watched the film, there's not a few people on this planet that can make that throw. But we're just chewing up yards now. As you watch the game, and I'm not taking anything away from Burns because they're a really good football team, but we helped them stop us. When we were on schedule and not making mistakes, our run game was pretty effective.
Coach, we'll go over the players of the week, and something different this year. We've got sponsors for all our players of the week, so that's exciting for our businesses, local businesses, and guys, show them some love and some patronage at our local businesses. They've invested a lot in the program, and they love Crest football, and they want to be a part of something special. So we'll start off with the offensive player of the game, sponsored by Katie Bradley's real estate team. So, Coach, who's our offensive player of the week?
Malachi Gamble, the tailback. We thought he had a good night running the football, and like you mentioned earlier in the highlights, the physicality at the line of scrimmage and finishing runs. He's been a great leader for us in the offseason, practiced really, really hard. Good team player. Never complains he hasn't complained about not getting enough carries. He just does what we need him to do and takes care of the football and plays with a forward lean. And he had a big run, obviously at a big time in the game, and he set up some scores for us.
Yeah, I think he's like a punishing running back. So he gets probably stronger as the game goes on. The guys don't want to tackle him, and he kind of punishes you.
It's funny. We were in the huddle one time, and things were getting a little. I think it's when they ran the kickoff back and he got 14-14. I was saying, everybody just relax, everybody be calm. And I looked over there, and he was just smiling at me, and I'm like, I like this dude, and I kind of smiled at him, and kind of like, we're gonna be all right. And that's I think that's when he had that run. So that was a big run for us.
He had over 100 yards rushing, and a great day for Malachi. So our defensive player of the week is sponsored by Valeb Care Cart in Boiling Springs. We welcome them aboard this year as a sponsor. Who is our defensive player?
Could you guess who our defensive player of the week would be?
Well, I saw a couple.
Who do you think it might be?
I think it's Khalid Clark.
It is, yeah. He had a big night for us. He's been a great leader for us, and not just. I mean, you can watch the game. He's setting our defense up now. He knows where everybody's supposed to be. He jumps around the guy, makes a good play. See a lot of people with him, and he would be the first one to tell you that there's a lot of people in on that tackle. I don't know which one this is. Yep, folds back inside and makes tackle in a strip there, and then he's going the other way with the ball. Like I told you earlier, he got a score there because then we kind of screw it up and fumble it back to him. And then this is kind of one of our coaches said, "What is Charger Magic?" I said, "Is that right there?" Yep. The next play he makes that play, and now this time he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get it in the end zone." And he's a great leader for us. I think the other thing kind of lost in our team is the success of last year. But when you lose 16 guys, the guys who have played in games need to play big for you early in the year. And I think, all Trey, those guys who played games for us last year played better than the other people did for the most part. But then we had some young guys who, as the game went on, you said they started feeling more and more comfortable, and some of that's the example from the veteran players that have been in those battles, and that was certainly good for us.
Well, you got my thought there, because I was saying, last year you had some D1 starters on defense that kind of maybe not overshadowed Kali or some of them people on defense, but there was a lot of kids that came back on that defense that played a lot of football last year, and that experience is invaluable to a defense. And then they say defense is always ahead of the offense early in the year, but you can see that, this.
Well, it was good for me.
Example.
The good thing for me watching our defense was is when Frank was saying this guy can do this and this guy can do that. I'd walk by the weight room sometimes, look at him and say, I ain't sure about that guy. And then some of our young kids, that I saw a different side of them. Saturday, they were physical and attacking the ball, and our team speed on defense is really, really good, and I think Clark's a big part of that, being the leader of our group, and we shuffled some of them around from positions, and they accepted it, and so we've got some good young players over there as well, so and we're excited about the future on that side.
Well, I talk to people, and it's been brought up before, like, Monday through Thursday might be, okay, practice is okay. Yeah. But then Friday nights lights come on, the Crest Chargers come to play.
Yeah, I don't like that.
They're going to be there.
Yeah,
they're going to be there, and they're going to play.
They are. And when I was talking to players before the game, that's just what, and I say we because I was a part of it, that's what Crest does.
Yep.
When you need to make a play, you find a way to make a play. And obviously we did that. We did that Saturday afternoon.
All right, our lineman of the week, sponsored by Available Care Card, Coach Paxton Dobbins.
Yeah, Paxton Dobbins. It can be an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman. He played some H-back for us as well. We thought he had the most consistent game for us on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Again, a great leader, a guy who played last year again, so he's been in those battles. He's getting better and better every day on the practice field. He's starting to understand. You can see him reducing there and fighting to get back to the quarterback and causing disruption. I think very few people realize how really fast he is. And he's also coming over and servicing on the other side of the ball and learning to play the H-back position. So we thought he played really, really well for us.
Yeah, he certainly did that. The next player of the week is our special teams, sponsored by Sharon View Federal Credit Union, and we're going to go with Levi Jones.
Yep, punter, and first game punt, that's I was nervous. I don't know if he was or not, but he did a great job. Yeah, he did. He did a great job at turning the ball over. He is getting better and better. Did a good job of controlling field position for us. We probably got to do a bit of a better job of giving him maybe a little more time. But he flipped the field for us some. He's great mechanically. That was really close. But again, he's pinning them back. And in high school football, if your kicking game, both from a kickoff standpoint and a punt, if you can make the team have to go 75 yards, very rarely do they do that. So he did a great job for us Friday.
Yeah, I'll take our chances with that offense having to go 60, 75, 80 yards against our defense. So that's a good weapon to have, both him and Carson Greer, as far as place kicking and kickoff. Has also had a very good game. So we have a player of the week. Is called the Charger of the Week. It is sponsored by Southern Gems Nursery. So Southern Gems, get your flowers and everything else there. They got some good folks there, and they take care of the flower business. And you see some good-looking pots and flowers in front of the entranceway. Thank them for those. They look great, and they keep them up. Who's our Charger of the Week this week? And then I guess let me just
explain what it is.
The Charger of the Week is kind of like a practice player. They had great scout work during the week to help the players get ready for the game. So
it can be anybody. I think you hit on the biggest part. It's usually a guy who does a great job at practice, but in my mind, it's a guy who represents and exemplifies what we want our football program to be about, and guys who give. And from a scouting standpoint, when we're scouting, this week's winner was James Bowder. Had a good game for us on offense too, but he did a great job of whatever we need, he was doing for us that week, taking extra reps because of other people, being injured or whatever it might be. And he's been that guy really since the first day I got here. He loves being a Crest Charger, and there's early in the game, great catch. I think he'll score on that most times, but didn't need to get that first down signal. But he did a great job, not only for us. There's a little screen play where he's catching it. We got to do a better job on the perimeter right there, and he might get out and get that first down. Just a great young man who this is the big third down play.
This is the big third down. I remember he made that great catch.
Mm-hmm. And I just love, I love all our players, but I love his attention to detail on the offense side of the ball, and I love his whatever we need him to do. So he was a great choice for our first week winner.
He can fly too.
Yeah, he's fast.
He's fast.
Yeah, he's fast.
Can fly. That don't hurt.
Yeah, so it does not.
That's our players of the week for this week. We will do that every week, and we'll post them up on social media and get some highlights of each player each week. So that's something new we're doing this year. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll come back. And Coach, we got a preview. The S word.
Go Lions.
The team on the other side of the tracks. So we'll come back and we'll preview the Shelby Golden Lions right after this.
At McKinney Insurance, we are proud to support the Crest Chargers all season long. We want you to know that not all insurance agencies are created equal. We go out of our way to treat our clients like people and use our combined experience of over 70 years to protect what you value most in life. McKinney Insurance is an authorized Erie insurance agency that can help you with your auto, home, business, and life insurance needs. For your free quote, call or come by 113 North Lafayette Street in Shelby. Go Chargers!
Welcome back to Inside the Stable with the Crest Chargers football program, sponsored by Neal & Cole Termite and Pest Control, Moisture and Water Control. Coach, we're going to preview the Shelby Golden Lions. They come off an impressive win over county rival Kings Mountain last Friday night. They got their game in on Friday night. So, I know a lot of their players and coaches were at our game Saturday. And, we know what Shelby does. Shelby is Shelby. And they have a consistent winning program that they have. And, there's just something special about this rivalry. Everybody has their opinion on what's the best rivalry in the state. And I think this is by far head and shoulders over any rivalry in the state.
It's two great programs with a proud tradition and a great following, and that both programs understand how to win. They understand how to win championships, so the games are going to always be a game that's played at a very, very high level, which we anticipate that Friday.
Yep.
And we've got a lot of respect for them. I'm sure they got respect for us. It is a game that, as a coach and a player, you better feel privileged to be a part of. Because there's a lot of players that play for programs that you don't ever get to play in a game like this. And that's whether you win it or you lose it. Obviously, it feels better if you win it. Obviously, everybody knows how I feel about it, because at the press conference, when I came back, I said if I could play one game over, it would be the time we lost to Shelby.
Yeah.
And that included 3 state championship losses. But they're very well coached. Coach Will Banks and their group do a great job. They've got great players, and so do we. And I'm going off when I was here the first time. I always felt like when the year was done, and I look back on our seasons, that Shelby, if they weren't the best team we played, they were at least the second best team we played in a 16-game season, and that speaks volumes from the type of football program they have. And we're excited about the opportunity. We know that neither one of us are where we want to be, and neither one of us are near where we're going to end up being. And it would almost be better, at the end there, we were playing on week 10. Yes. And you were a little more experienced and knew who you were, and those games were really good games. But this rivalry very rarely disappoints, and at least in my history of it, they're usually really close ball games, and I think generally it's two really, really good defensive football teams, and both offenses are trying to find a way. And I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case Friday.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle, and you can count on that. The emotions will be high, and just got to keep it under control. And like you you said, it's played at a high level every single year these two teams play, and both coming off state championships and both have aspirations of championships this year. So,
you said something, I think, that it is played at a very, very it's a tense football game. But I think and I've been involved with some of those, the Richmond, Scotland and all that. And I think the truly great rivalries, and this one falls in that category, is you're very intense on the field on Friday night and you want to win bad. But when the game's over, it's like, all right, I know you and you know me.
Yep. You go to church together. You're down the street from each other, and you go and you talk back and forth, and it's going on during the week. The fans have more fun
but
with
they
it.
handle it the right way.
Absolutely, and the kids, they bring out the best of each team, brings out the best in the other team, and it's just a great football game and a great atmosphere, and we expect a fantastic atmosphere Friday night at Sid Bryson Stadium. And get there early, buy your ticket, get there early.
Don't park in my yard.
Don't park in Alan Weston's yard.
You probably need to put a barrier up.
Yeah. Alan, I told you need to charge $10 a car.
I need to do that.
Yeah. So hopefully we get the game in Friday. Looking at the weather again, it's this time of year, and just hopefully we can get it on Friday night and just have a great game and a great sportsmanship by both of them. And like you said, each coaching staff and kids respect the other coaching staff and kids, and it's just it's something great to be a part of. I think you hit it on the head when you said it's just great to be a part of the rivalry in some way, and everybody in the state's going to be paying attention, and it's going to be very intense. But like you said, at the end of the day, shake your hand. We know them, they know us.
That's right.
We're going to have a great year. Both teams will go on and have a great, fantastic year. And, you just try to improve, I guess, week to week. That's what you're looking at. And you don't want the finished product to be week 2. So
that's exactly right. Yeah. We're not, like I said, we're not going to be where I want to be after this week, whether we win or lose. And I don't think they will be either. But you just got to keep making progress. And the good thing about playing great teams like Shelby, Burns and Shelby, and those teams early in the conference. I mean, if you look at, early in the non-conference, you look at ours, then it's Asheville, then it's Weddington.
Yes.
They force you to get better, to have an opportunity to compete. And hopefully our players will answer that bell. I know we'll be a better football team this Friday than we were last Friday.
And I know last year, speaking of last year's team, this early season games against Burns, Shelby, Weddington, it paid benefits in the playoffs when you're playing East Lincoln, South Point, Hickory, back to back to back on the road, and you take care of business, and that you can look back and say, hey, it helps us to play a Shelby on the road.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
absolutely.
It's a win-win, and hopefully we take a W Friday night and keep on going. So we'll be 2-0. We will see you next week. Coach, any final words?
I'd just like to thank y'all for giving me an opportunity to come and talk about Crest football and our players. We appreciate this opportunity and are thankful that y'all allow it.
Well, I want to say a thank you to all our sponsors. We've got tons of sponsors this year, and we're doing, Coach, I don't know if I'm going to mention it, we do a Charger football nutrition program, and we started that this year. Coach has brought it in with him, and it can't be done without great sponsors and great people and great community support. And, we're feeding the team every day, 5 days a week. And the kids are loving it so far. I think we're week 3, and they're loving the food, and thankful for all the Booster Club and the volunteers and just coaching staff and just the local businesses. I can't name them all. Just so thankful for everything, and it couldn't be done without the sponsors that we have. I mean, it's like, we can't name them all. So it's you'll see a lot of them, all of them on our show here. We'll advertise all of them, so give them your patronage, and you'll see them on Friday nights on our video board rolling around. And get there. We got some good content on the video board before the game, and during the game we can kind of get the crowd interaction going. So thank you for being here, Coach. Welcome back. It's glad to have you back, and see you next week. Go Chargers.